Robert says the year 2020 will become recognised as the year having a dose of flu became a criminal offence. Yeah, I still get a lot of comments by people saying that this is nothing more than a flu. Yesterday my girlfriend went to the hairdressers and the hairdresser broke down in tears because she lost both of her parents on the same day, 3 hours apart, and she's got her father's belongings back, but her mother's belongings haven't been returned yet, and basically they don't even know where she died. So is it nothing more than a flu? Well, I'll let you decide that.
Good day, my friends. We are getting right into today's video. No big long introduction by posting that little clip from the YouTube channel Spain Speaks, and they're talking over about what's going on with the coronavirus situation. And you know, the same thing on my part. I don't see no difference between now and what it used to be a couple months back. Well, maybe some minor differences. Some minor differences in maybe that the stores are closed down and malls are not up and running and community centers are all closed. I guess I'm noticing it more now that I'm out of van life, and I'm going to go into more about my transition in the ending of my third week of van life at the end of this video. But for now, living in the house and working, I don't notice no difference because I'm doing everything a normal person would do. If I wasn't working, then I would notice a big difference. And sometimes we're oblivious to the things that are going around us. And the point is that my manager at work, we're talking and he says, oh man, he says, last weekend, he says, you know what, or this past weekend, I went to the hospital. My kid had a big asthma attack, so we had problems. I had to take him into emergency. He says, you know what, we're coming to work, we're going home and doing this and that, we're running around and we don't see everything that's going on. Says I went to the hospital ward, they rushed us in and we went to whatever floor, respiratory. He says, holy shit, he says, it freaking scared the piss out of me because I actually got to see what's going on with the coronavirus thing. And he says, man, he says, there's people screaming in their beds, there's people crying, they're yelling. He says it was just mayhem in the emergency area. He says it was the corona ward or whatever it is, or respiratory ward, I guess, is my understanding. He says, yeah, the nurses were at the tables crying, and he says it was a really freaky, unsettling thing. He says, I didn't want to be there. And that's the problem with life sometimes. Everybody, we don't see it. Looks normal. Life is going on. People are driving their cars, they're going to work, they're going grocery shopping. When it's not raining, they're in the park playing or trying to do something if they're not on quarantine. But we don't see behind the scenes of something like that that's going on in a hospital. Or like I posted in the first beginning clip, Spain Speaks, where somebody's dying, or your parents are dying and you can't go visit them, or you can't see them as they're passing away and you know they're passing away. So yeah, it goes back to the thing, we need more kindness and more understanding for the things that are unseen. So it really made me think what he said, so because I don't see it. Like I say, I see normal life going on, and for me it feels, well, semi-normal. It feels eerie around other people because they're scared to walk around you or to be around you. They're all walking around you. And you see people, that's another thing. People are driving down the streets and they got masks on and they're the only people in the car. Masks and a face shield. I'm going, makes no freaking sense. That's a little carried away because there's nobody in your car to spread it. It's like, yeah, that's a little too much. Anyhow, yeah, I'm doing blah blah blah. So I'll end this for now, get out of the rain, and come back. Cheers. Coffee cheers. Well, my friends, this is the end of week 3 and the transition from van life to house life. And you know, it almost looked like it was going to end on a not very good note, but then with a bit of communication and a bit of talking, it actually ended up being a pretty good ending of third week. And I say lack of communication because, hey, it's the beginning of May and my rent is due. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that. For the first time in 4 weeks, I'm actually paying what I thought was rent. At least that's the way you would think it. However, there was miscommunication. I said, what happened was, Korean girl, I didn't give her money. So things got a little testy. I didn't bring it up, but I was attributing that to her period. What is with women? They like to advertise that they're on their period or having their period and all the details on their period. Oh, I'm having a heavy flow. Oh, back problems. Oh, stomach and all the other things. You know what? Even previous relationships and girls have went blatantly out and told me all about their period and things that's going on. It's like, yeah, I don't need to know that. Just give me the minor details. Anyhow, yeah, I attribute her little bit of grumpiness the last few days to that, but it wasn't that. She came to me, she goes, oh, what about money? You're going to give me money or what? And I'm still not used to giving out money for rent, so that's an adjustment for me, so I wasn't too thrilled at it. But hey, I know it's something I gotta do if I'm transitioning. So I grabbed the money, I didn't throw it on the table, but I went psh, like that. She goes, oh, you don't have to throw it, and she kind of grumped out, and oh, why you're doing like that? I don't like that type of way. And I took offense to it, and I said, well, what the hell's wrong with you? You've been grumpy all week, you've been complaining and this and that, and just being grumpy and miserable. I said, what the hell's going on? What's wrong with you? She says, well, why do I have to ask you to give me money? You should have did it at the whatever and blah, 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 just giving it to me. So I said, you know what? I'm not used to giving you money for rent. I said, hey, my life is free. I don't have to pay for anything living in the van at the end of the month. I just put gas in the tank and drive away. So for me, I got to get used to. And then she comes out and she says, you know what? You're not paying rent. That's what our tenant is for. She's paying the rent. You're just giving me money for bills and to help with things and to pay for groceries. I'm going, well, I thought you wanted rent money, and then I still had to pay for groceries and buy other things and everything else. She goes, no. She says, that's not the deal. She says, grocery money will come out of the money you give me. All the expenses, all the other things will come out of that money that you give me. And she says, $300-400 a month I want to put away out of that money for us to travel, and then I will put some money into that pile too, and then we'll have money to do whatever we want with travel or do this and that. It's like, miscommunication. It can happen that easy, and then we jump to conclusions. So that makes it a little more stomachable, I guess, when I'm paying money to her and it's going towards groceries and everything else, and to certain things, so that I can deal with. So we patched it up, kissed and made up and whatever else, and things are okay. She feels a little more comfortable at the end of the third week. I feel a little more comfortable after we got that out of the way, and we'll see. Still, who knows? I still miss van life in some ways, but there's a lot that I like about house things that, that I really enjoy, and I'll get more into that in the next video in my 4th week of living here. Oh, speaking of that, the tenant, you know what? She's been quiet. Don't even know she exists. She doesn't really say anything. She pops her head out when I'm on my work schedule and says hi in the morning, and that's about it. Makes a coffee, but she sticks in her room pretty much. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday-ish, she works all those shifts. So on my days off, she's pretty much gone. So technically we don't really chat with her and talk to her, but she's really quiet. She's very nice. So far so good on that aspect. So where does that leave this, boys and girls? Yeah, we'll see how week 4 goes, if it's still a smooth transition, and then still see if I'm not too thrilled of paying money for a place when I could be in my van for free. So yeah, adjustments, all adjustments. We'll see how it goes and see how I like it. So, and next video, I've got somebody else who's gonna do the ending and the outro. So, without ado, I'll let him do this.
I think you know the routine, guys. Be safe, be kind, most of all, be awesome.
And in saying that, we'll see you next time, guys. Cheers. The coffee's cold, by the way.